warm welcome back. I'm Sage. You are watching 𝐊𝐿𝐴𝐴 TV live from Sydney. And this is the last trade, the last show of the day on 𝐊𝐿𝐴𝐴 TV. The growing concern over new cases drags the ASX 200 down to negative zones. The market traded flat today with low volatility. The benchmark index ASX 200 dropped 7.70 points by market close and traded at 7,047.70, down by 0.11% on Thursday's closure. 7 of 11 sectors traded lower today, with consumer discretionary being the worst performing sector, while telecommunication services topping the charts. IT declined by 0.73%, however Megaport Limited and Nuix Limited from this space traded higher today. Investors continue to like Megaport's numbers. That came out yesterday, and the share price is up for the second consecutive day. So what's coming in from Australia? Today, 18 new cases were reported in New South Wales among the returned overseas travellers. The cases were reported after the National Cabinet resolved to limit the country's international traveller intake. The new case brings the total positive cases to 54 of overseas travellers in 1 week's time. Yesterday, the Prime Minister Scott Morrison declared new caps on flights from India, where the second wave is seeing cases rise to nearly 300,000 a day. Countries come together at Earth Day Summit to fight against global warming. The largest carbon emitters, including China and the US and India, pledged to reduce their emissions at the two-day Global Climate Summit. The event began on the occasion of Earth Day and was virtually attended by representatives of 40 countries to combat greenhouse gas emissions. Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga has committed to nearly double its target for emissions cut by 2030. And now, let's see how the Asian markets are going. The Asian shares traded higher on the back of unchanged European central bank policy. The central bank decided to keep copious stimulus flowing despite its forecast of a robust rebound of European economy from mid-year. However, gains were capped due to concerns over the possible US capital gains tax hike. As per reports, US President Joe Biden is seeking to increase the capital gains tax to above 40% for the wealthy individuals. Japanese shares continued their downtrend on Friday, dragged mainly by technology shares. The country is getting more stringent with its measures to curb the COVID-19 virus. Market sentiments were lower after the concern of a sluggish economic recovery. The gloomy session in Wall Street added to the falling shares. The broader topics declined by 0.38%. The Nikkei share average fell by 0.60%. Asia Pacific's MSCI's broadest index shares outside Japan recouped from early losses to gain by 0.1%. And Hong Kong's Hang Seng increased by 0.55%. Chinese blue chip shares were up by 0.33% and Seoul's Kospi rose by 0.16%. The dollar remained slightly lower as compared to the yen. The benchmark 10-year Treasury notes yield remained slightly unchanged at 1.554%. US crude increased by 0.6% to $61.80 US a barrel, and Brent crude was up by 0.47% to US $65.71 per barrel. The spot gold increased nearly 0.3% to US $1,789.18 per ounce. Moving on, what's new in the cryptocurrency space? A day after reaching a record high of $2,645.97, the digital currency Ether declined by over 10% to as low as $2,140. The most popular digital currency, Bitcoin, too, fell by over 5%. And now, let's see the news that moved the shares. The share price of the stock Great Boulder Resources Limited gained as much as 25% to Australian $0.045, its highest since 10th of March 2021. The Gold Explorer announced that it has secured a major zinc-lead project in the ʻirihiti Basin, east of Wiluna in Western Australia. The Great Boulder Resources stated project to be named the Wellington Project, and it covers 1,134 kilometres square and greater than 60 kilometres of strike prospective for carbonate-hosted zinc-lead mineralisation. More than 16.7 million shares got traded as compared to the 30-day average of about 787,806 shares. Towards the market close, Great Boulder Resources Limited shares zoomed by 16.666%. De Grey Mining Limited rose as much as 10.1% to 1.470 Australian dollars, hitting its highest since 21st September 2020. The Gold Explorer stated visible gold was intersected at its McLeod lode in Crow prospect, while it also found strong mineralisation at the Aquila prospect in its Hemi project in Western Australia. De Grey Mining stock posted its biggest intraday percentage gain since 18th March 2021. Nearly 8.7 million shares were traded as compared to the 30-day average volume of about 3.7 million. By the day's end, De Grey Mining Limited shares gained by 13.108%. The share price of Brockman Mining Limited went on to gain as much as 223.076%, reaching at 0.084 Australian dollars per share. BCK and Mineral Resources Limited have signed a FJV agreement via their subsidiaries Brockman Iron and Polaris. As per the agreement, 50% interest in the Marilana project will be transferred to Polaris. Also, 50% interest in Brockman's 𝐊𝐴LMIA project will be transferred to Polaris. The development of Marilana project and 𝐊𝐴LMIA project into an iron ore mining hub is capable of producing a minimum of 25 MTPA of final product for export. Brockman Mining Limited shares skyrocketed to 238.461% towards the session's end. The shares of TPG Telecom Limited gained as much as 1.9% to reach 5.900 Australian dollars on Friday. The broadband services provider says via Unit Mobile JV Pty Ltd, the company has acquired 400 MHz millimetre wave 5G spectrum licences for Sydney, Melbourne and Perth, and 600 MHz licences for Brisbane and all other metropolitan and regional areas. TPG Telecom stated that it has secured holdings in all available licence areas in 26 GHz millimetre wave band auction for 108.2 million Australian dollars. TPG Telecom said acquisitions will provide the company with increased capacity to deliver 5G fixed wireless services and super fast 5G mobile services. TPG Telecom Limited shares rose by 1.208%. Morgan Stanley says Australian gas producer Santos Limited could benefit if capacity at its Gladstone liquid natural gas plant grows. Santos on Thursday reported the higher first quarter production from GLNG, a 9.2% rise in group revenue, and forecast more than $1 billion in free cash flow for 2021. MS stated that if upstream capacity continues to grow, there is the potential for valuation upside. The financial research firm stated that Santos' investment thesis remains on track and the balance sheet is in a much stronger position than the market is implying. 8 of 15 brokerages rate the stock buy or higher and 6 hold and 1 sell. The median PT is $7.88 per share as per Refinitiv data. Santos Limited shares were slightly up by 0.505%. The shares of Emeco Holdings Limited fell as much as 2.2% to 0.88 Australian dollars, their lowest since 22nd November 2020. Emeco Holdings expects financial year 2021 operating EBITDA between 235 million and 238 million Australian dollars, down from 246.1 million Australian dollars reported last year. Emeco Holdings confirms the second half of 2021 earnings to be in line with last year. It stated that with fleet momentum improving, fleet utilisation is increasing the financial performance and is growing towards financial year 2022. EHL on track to post its sixth weekly decline, losing 3.2%. Emeco Holdings Limited shares declined by 0.556%. Thank you for your time watching. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And that is all for now. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Monday, beg yours, as close as possible, 10 a.m. live from Sydney. And this is Sage signing off.